I'm here. Welcome, my friends. Another round of the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. I paused there because Darla assumed this position where I thought she was taking a leak on the couch. How you doing over there, big girl? She's really growing too, you know. She now can like leap up onto things, which, you know, was a struggle for her. But she's graduating to that level of strength. So good to see. Good and sad at the same time. Welcome into the show. Ben and I will be recording on Wednesday. We have a busy week in store. We're going to do the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. We're going to record Who Are These Zanes? And I have a brand new episode of Who Are These Free Beers, where we review one of America's greatest radio shows, the one and only world famous Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. The episode in mind is last Friday of their show. And I took notes. I was driving from up north, you know, back home for the wedding. Patrick writes, another glorious fraudulent Wednesday. Fraudulent Wednesdays are fun. There's no question. The episode is going to be known as the Great Living Room Debate. I know, that sounds ridiculous, but there was a debate about living rooms. Let's see, some of my jokes. These are like notes, not jokes. Notes, and if I just read them aloud to you, it wouldn't make any sense. A lot of joke tagging again. I want to make sure everybody understands what joke tagging is. When something funny happens, it's normal for a group of people to then, like if they're together, to want to get in on the joke by adding more jokes. But the problem is that the initial either funny thing or joke that happens. The best example is the commencement speech where the lady is reading the graduates as they come across the stage and wanted to say Julie Kirchhoff, and she said Julie Jerkoff, which is great. And then they followed up with jumping in with their own malapropisms, I guess. Is that even a malapropism? I don't even know why I use that word, frankly, because I don't even think I know the definition of that. So then Greg's like, oh, yeah, Debbie double-ender. Holly's like, yeah, Victoria vagina. And joke tagging is those subsequent jokes, which aren't as funny as the first joke, and each one gets less funny, making the whole thing much less funny than the initial bomb, which was funny. Now, sometimes a person on the show will actually say something funny, and then the rest of them will die. Instead of just enjoying the moment, they then tag the joke repeatedly. I've got some great moments where Freebeard drops a joke that no one gets or a reference that no one understands. Let's see. Yeah, going over the notes bit by bit wouldn't make sense. But it will when we address it on Who Are These Free Beers? Tyler says, I heard a coworker talk about listening to that show. I walked away. Tyler says the joke, the other Tyler says it gets less funny, yet they laugh harder and harder. Harem says it is an opportunity for unfunny people to associate themselves with a funny moment. This is true. So we will break down the great living room debate, among other things, on Wednesday's edition of Who Are These Free Beers? I am looking much more homeless by the minute with my hair going in like, oh, look at that. All these weirdo directions. God dang it. What an idiot. Yeah, I think somebody, your old pal EZ, is due for a haircut. You may have noticed that I started this podcast as live from the Jessica Garrett studio. Okay. I think Tim is here. Someone tipped me off. Could be Tim. That a former Zaniac is grumpy at your old pal EZ. All right. Now, let me just share with you what I know. This is a Facebook post from the multi-talented Jessica Garrett. Here she is. She is part of the Nashville, Tennessee Zaniacs, or former Zaniac. And she, as you can see, my name there. And in this Facebook post, she says, quote, "Hi! Tuning. Keep my name out your mouth." End quote. That's the old Will Smith line. Is what that is. All right. Now, I can tell you that I have never, ever done anything to this lady. Ever. She is a one of these mad by proxies. And I, when I would do that impression, she would laugh a lot. Oh, that's funny. Oh, my, I think that's funny. She thought it was great. But, and by the way, Amanda says, great. Now she's going to think it's me. It wasn't you. It was another person. Now, I want to back up here because there were numerous times that I would reach out to her just to check on her ups and downs in life. And I never, ever got why some of these people just, they kind of like just gelled as a group. And they just said, let's collectively hate on someone for no particular reason. I have done nothing to her, ever. Some people in the group, they have every reason to be mad at me after, and I would too. I mean, if I lost my shit on someone like they did to me, and then that person obliterated them, which I did to them, well, my God, I would understand that. I mean, that's what a fight is. That's why I said if they ever got up the nerve to apologize, of course I'd bring them back. But that's not going to happen. So fuck them. Dean, boring Dean, the shit I said about that guy is all well deserved. But I can honestly tell you that I have never had a bad word to say about Jessica ever. The impression is stupid. Of course, she doesn't really sound like that. It comes from a clip that we had where she was trying to get Kevin Kuipers a drink, and she just seemed really loud and energetic, and she's Southern, so she's got that twang going. So thus the hey Kevin, come on now, Kevin, drink it up, motherfucker. That's where the joke came from. Every impression that I do on this show is just it's just an over-the-top thing that takes on a life of its own, a la the Kenny, that impression. So, I don't know why she is so upset. I have nothing bad to say about her. I don't know why she's so pissed off at me. But she said, Eric Zaitonian, you keep my name out your mouth. So thus, I'm not going to. That's why I called this studio the Jessica Garrett studio. And it's like, well, why would you say that? You keep my name out your mouth, silver bitch. What? And if I don't, what does that mean? What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to be mad. Is what I'm going to be. I'll be fixing to kick your ass when I see you. I don't understand why I don't understand why she's mad at me. I don't understand why Melinda's pissed off at me. I don't understand. Okay. The biggest mystery is why those people are pissed off at Stevie, skunk-haired bitch. You know, I have no idea. But I thought it was fantastic. I tell you what. Again. Craig Danitz from Clearwater, Florida, has it right. If you ding-dongs continue to just rip me a new one, I am going to talk about it. And it's going to be very entertaining. Look, and when I sit here for 2 hours a day, I'd be lying to you if I said every show I have an anxiety attack about whether or not I'm going to be able to fill an entire show with 2 hours of content. Okay, now it's an unrealistic fear because I've never had a problem filling 2 hours of content, sitting here yelling at clouds. But when these moments happen, if I'm like, oh fuck, I know I'm going to be about 20 minutes short. When you do that, it's great. It makes thank God the Zaniac spun out again. Sweet. Oh, okay, great. Oh, they said this. Oh, excellent. All right. Like last week, that whole business on Jamingo's show, and oh God, those guys put it right up my dirt pipe. So now that led to that moment, which. A lot of people have said to me that they had a really good time listening to that. It was very enjoyable. So the takedown. I appreciate that, by the way. So, I mean, I can play this any way I want, but I mean, if you're going to sit there and hey, okay, you keep my name out your mouth. All right. So welcome in to the Jessica Garrett studio. The dogs are brought to you today by Jessica Garrett, O'Neill, Darla, and Bruce, and Benny in the other room. These are Jessica Garrett dogs. Thank you so much for supporting the show and checking out my Jessica Garrett sponsored website. I love having the big sponsorship of Jessica Garrett from the greater Nashville, Tennessee area. Very, very special. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, Jessica Garrett, for being a longtime fan of the Eric Zane Show podcast. There she is, the multi-talented Jessica Garrett. Keep my name out of your mouth. My God. And the one who likes it is Melinda. That is, they're partners in crime. And I love Melinda. She's always been wonderful to me. I don't understand where she's coming from. None of these people have ever made an explanation as to what they're pissed off about. I think they're just pissed because of the drama that went down however long ago that was. And again, none of them had anything to do with it. All right. So, again, excited about Ben and Eric, the Who Are These Free Beers and Who Are These Zane shows, which will be tomorrow. My God, I have got to get to work. I have so much work to do. Holy crap. And last night, no opportunity to get any work done here because America's #1 fry cook was back at Bosco's Pub where, wow, we kind of got our asses kicked. not that bad. It was a controlled ass kicking for your old pal EZ and Bosco's Pub owner, head hamburger chef, Doug. No Dougie, which is Doug's son. It's his day off. That's why I come in. Who, by the way, Ding Dong badly damaged one of his fingers with a knife. I don't even want to explain anything else that happened to him because it. I said to these dumbasses, I go, they were at one point in time, they were talking about UFC and injuries in UFC, and I had to walk away, and they're like, what are you doing? I go, I can't hear about these injuries. Ever since I passed out after that chainsaw incident with my foot, I find I'm more susceptible to vasovagal response. So I know the signs. Like if you're telling me something gross about a broken leg or something like that, my hands start to tingle. Okay. Now, side note to that, when I watch those muppety flippity bone break videos on here, it's different. I don't know why, but it's words to me. And then in my mind's eye, the picture has more of an effect on me than watching some jackass break his leg in a wrestling ring or something like that. So I don't know. Anyway, Ding Dong hurts himself. And I have to say it like that because just using the descriptive words, for some reason, I'll attempt it. The word slice, when it comes to like what happens to your finger with a knife, it just ruins me every time. Okay? I should probably stop. I'm not kidding you. I could probably talk myself into passing out. I've become that feeble and susceptible to this. It's not great. So I said to these dumbasses more than once, I go, yeah, I got to go. Don't stop talking about it. I can't. Well, idiot the other day, he hurts himself while cutting green onions. And with the picture that he sent me, he wrote, I figured I'd just send you the picture instead of the movie I shot. And I'm like, God damn it. You're doing this on purpose. And you can't be this dumb. And so idiot hurt himself. And it's probably good that he recovers. I don't want. Can you imagine like getting salt on something like that? Jesus. Speaking of seasoning, yesterday we got an order in from this elderly couple. They each wanted a couple of burgers, and they said specifically, don't put any seasoning on the burgers and no salt on the fries. Okay. Now, the fries, after they fry, you put them in a bowl, and the bowl has leftover salt from when you've put salt on the previous load of fries. So you have to wipe out the bowl so there's no salt in it whatsoever, because they're sodium sensitive. So I'm like, I get the orders in, and I turn around to Doug, and I said, Doug, I need you to put 2 burgers down, no seasoning on the burgers, because we put like this almost like a Montreal steak seasoning with Lowry seasoned salt mixed into it on the burgers, on one side of the burgers. And he's looking at the order with me. I go, okay, these 2 burgers, no seasoning, fries. And he goes, yeah, wipe out the bowl of any salt. So we both like are communicating with each other. Okay, so he has his job. I have my job. I'm putting the buns on the grill to brown. And this is 11 seconds after we just said no seasoning, no salt anywhere on this order. He puts the burgers on the grill and then takes the seasoning and starts dumping it on the burgers. And I looked to my right, and I actually said, the fuck you doing? And he's now seasoned both burgers, and he's like, and he closes his eyes and he exhales. I go, I just fucking told you. And it was great. And he just takes them and throws them in the garbage. Oh, my God. Who hasn't done something like that at one point in time, though? Oh, it's fantastic. Always a good time there. And then a group of 11 young people come in. When I say young, I mean early 20s. And what happened next was so annoying. 11 different bills. 11 people that are, can you imagine in a big city trying that shit? They would have just told you to fuck off. If you try that in Chicago, New York, Boston, Los Angeles, 11 people sit down and they say, yeah, hey, so 11 separate bills. They would say, get out. Don't come back. Get out. You'd have to beg forgiveness. No. One pay and then Venmo. I think we live in a day and an age when that is completely unnecessary. My God. Anyway, 11 separate tickets come in. It's like, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's just basically we're just making the same food, but it's just a pain in the ass. Holy shit. All in all, a good day. I think I'm going to be back there. Very 90% sure. We've got a Thursday, Friday, Saturday EZ Fry Cook Spectacular going on. You must come and see me, for God's sake. There was a guy at the bar yesterday who he recognized me. And, some would say, and I can understand it, I mean, here I am podcasting and to get even more extra money to whatever, pay for college, keep the lights on. I'm a fry cook. And I get the old, oh, my God, what are you doing here? And I said, I'm working. He says, what do you do now? And I don't like giving the big explanation of, well, I'm podcasting. I do sometimes, but I wasn't ready for it. I didn't feel like it. I go, little of this, little of that, whatever I can, just to keep busy. Those days are gone. And he's like, oh, man. And he's one of these, and it happens. He's a dude who's like, the day you left was the day the show died, and whatever, That's always nice to hear, but it's absolutely not true. The show is very, very popular. But he thinks so. And he's like blown away by me actually. And I go, oh, well, that's thank you. I appreciate that. And then he goes, whatever happened to Tony Gates on LAV? And I go, I don't know. And he goes, maybe you could work there. I go, well, I don't know. I have no idea. They just brought in a new morning show. I go, you should listen to that. You should check that out. And I don't know if he was aware of that. But he goes, oh, yeah, you should get on LA Vic. I don't know. Maybe. You never know. One day down the road, perhaps. So it was nice actually seeing him. But I sometimes, I'm getting past the, hey, I do a podcast from a room above my garage, and on the side, I make French fries. I'm getting past, at first I was like I was sheepish of that. I felt, I don't want to say like a loser, but there's ego involved. But now I'm really embracing that. I'm past that. And it's actually very enjoyable to work. I love working. I bust my ass as much as I possibly can for Doug. I love those people. They really take care of me. So come see me Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Just say, hey, is that guy Eric Zane there? I will come out. I'll talk to you no matter how busy we are. And I want to see you there. Okay. So now that we have that out of the way, from the Jessica Garrett studio, I welcome you to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Corey says you can leave out the attic part. Just say that I host a podcast and I do this for fun. Well, that's lying. Essentially, this is a dormer above my garage. It gets too hot when I have the air conditioning on. And I don't do it for fun. I do it to survive. And I do. I mean, I'm not getting rich, but I'm living. I'm doing okay. IMKO says, I missed it. Where is Zane at? Well, you have to be in West Michigan, and if you are, you come see me at Bosco's Pub. Thursday and Friday and Saturday, I think. I'll let you know more tomorrow. Amanda says, I never would have thought of that Venmo thing. Thank you, Eric. Let's see. I hope they politely ask them to leave, Nick says. Stevie says, Big Fraud Zane's talked myself into passing out challenge. Stevie says, I'm glad it's different for the muppety flippity bone break injuries. I love those. Oh, breaking them down, it's like my favorite thing. Cole writes, their last straw, the Zaniacs, was you saying you called 911 at 9:03, but it was actually 9:07. They can't take all the lying right to their ears. You are a liar. You are a bold-faced liar. You do not have the right time down. But I do. I swear to God I do. Corey says when those pieces of trash left the show, it was like cancer was cut out. Thank you. Corey says also the problem with the Venmo thing is one person ends up paying for the tip for the entire bill, and then the people using Venmo only send them the price for their food. Well, too fucking bad. Figure it out. Don't make the server do it. Jesus. All right. God, I was going to mention something else. What was it? It escapes me. I'll come back to it. If you are enjoying the show on Twitch, stay right there. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to hit the road. The full show is available, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Or download the Twitch app on your mobile device and search Eric Zane Live, and off you go. Follow the page. Subscribe by linking your Amazon Prime. When you do subscribe like that, you are, of course, then not getting any of the commercials that Amazon puts in there. So if you have an Amazon Prime account, do subscribe. Or if you like, you can throw a few bucks at it and you will be immune from the commercials. I don't really push that much. I feel like I ask you enough for money. But otherwise, you can just sit through the commercials and get it free. Twitch is a far superior platform to any of the other places where a show like mine can live stream. So that's why I do it. And I appreciate you. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. All of the old episodes are video on demand. You can check those out as well. And then the audio podcast. What I'm saying right now, I basically just take the audio and post it on all of the audio platforms, and I make it available for you and yours. That would be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of them. Just search Eric Zane Show, and there you go. I have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. That is another platform where I do an additional podcast every day. And it is behind a paywall. It is ad-free, listener-supported. So that is where you will get Who Are These Free Beers? Who Are These Zanes? The Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, the daily Patreon podcast. I put a ton of material up there. And in fact, it's much more that I put up there than I do on the free platform. The idea when I started this thing 4.5 years ago was free podcast every day, and within it at some point, like right now, promote the Patreon. It helps keep the lights on, keeps the dogs fed, keeps the medical bills at bay. There you go. That's how we do it on Patreon. And it is the beginning of the month, so a reminder to if it automatically kicks you out, which I think happens to some of you, don't forget to sign up again. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thank you so much, though, and I will kick you out now.